It's the 8th day of the Russian invasion and the battle for the capital is still on. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has said that his country had thwarted Russia's sneaky plans. He also said that he was proud of the heroic resistance to Moscow's invasion. Zelensky claimed that around 9,000 Russian soldiers had been killed since the invasion began. However, Russia has not verified this number as it does not report its losses.
Ми народ, який за тиждень зламав плани ворога. Плани, які будувалися роками, підло, прораховано, з ненавистю до нашої країни, до наших людей, до будь.
As a 40-mile-long Russian military column closes in, life in Kyiv has moved underground. Some of the city's metro stations have turned into shelters to accommodate citizens. Hospitals have also moved their patients to the basement. Women with newborn babies and ones expected to go into labor are now standing underground in one of Kyiv's maternity hospitals. But many in the capital city are still looking for shelters. This is a bridge over the Irpin River on the outskirts of capital Kyiv. It was reportedly destroyed to impede a Russian advance. Civilians were seen crossing over the wreckage in order to get to Kyiv train stations. A city of nearly 3 million people, it is now bracing for a possible full-blown Russian assault. The mayor of Kyiv says that citizens are ready and prepared to defend Kyiv.
The enemy is pulling its troops closer to the capital. Bila Tserkva was shelled last night. Fighting continued in Buka and Hostomel. We are getting ready and we will defend our city.
Now, for more on this, Jason Beardsley, National Executive Director, Association of the U.S. Navy, is joining us live from Arlington in Virginia, United States. Thank you so much for joining us. To begin with, what is your assessment of the Russian advancement so far?
Well, thank you for having me. I think the advancement has shown clearly through what Putin's plan was, which he had hoped for an initial shock and awe campaign that would have caused, I think, Zelensky to flee town with his ministers. They did not do that. The Russians were hoping that a deep penetration, multiple lines of axes would have given them the advantage and caused the Ukrainians to panic. Because that didn't happen, we are seeing, you said 8 days into this, columns that are stalled out on the road, equipment that is not well maintained, soldiers that are losing morale from the Russian side. This is showing forth what Putin was haphazard about, which is a poor plan to have done this. And so the end result is they're reacting with desperation.
All right. Now, also the Russian delegation in Ukraine are to hold second round of talks today. What can we expect on that front?
Again, the fact that they're having second talks, that's a good sign. I think Vladimir Putin is smart enough to know that he does not have this conquest in the bag. So he's smartly trying to keep his options open. And at the end of this, he'd like to negotiate back to a reasonable position where he keeps the Donbass province in the east while also maintaining a little bit of face-saving maneuvers and renegotiating some of those sanctions. So the fact that they're still in talks is a good sign, but make no mistake, the Russians at this point are acting desperate.
All right, and also speaking of Russian President Vladimir Putin's end game here, it is being said that Putin is set to put in place a puppet regime in Ukraine. What is your assessment of that?
Absolutely. This has been a standard play for Vladimir Putin. He is used to special operations to go into Chechnya and Georgia and places like the Crimea, as well as Belarus, internally and externally, politically, asymmetrically. What Vladimir Putin loves is to replace the government heads, to put pro-Putin people in charge. But in this case, he's failed to do that. And now he doesn't know how to conduct a war at this scale, which is why you're seeing the Ukrainian successes on the ground.
Right, absolutely. And you touched on this earlier. Now, the Ukrainian resistance has proven to be stronger than what was expected. Now, how long do you think the people of Ukraine can hold off Russian forces? The Russian forces are closing in on the capital.
I think they can hold on for a long time. I spent many years in combat in places like Iraq and peers up in Afghanistan, places like Somalia, Mogadishu. And I will tell you that when you have an embittered resistance, which the Ukrainians are putting up a spirited fight, it is not easy to take and control a city, even when you hold terrain, which the Russians may make a claim to, but they do not own the hearts and the minds of the sovereign citizens of Ukraine. And they have showed us what Ronald Reagan said, which is the spirit of the people and the will of the people. There is no arsenal, no weapon that is matched for that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jason Beasley. Thank you so much for joining us with your analysis of this situation. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.